The Ford Transit we call Stallion. This is the black Stallion. This is a 350 HD, dually, high roof, extended chassis. It's as big as they get. This gentleman is going to travel the country, maybe the continent, with his competition dogs. Right now, we're making provision for 4 of these dogs. I'll get into the details of these dogs later on in upcoming videos. For right now, you need to know that we had to build 4 crates to take these dogs around the country and have Amir live in a lap of luxury as he's doing it. So we didn't want to have these crates made at a custom crate place. We needed to work these crates into the integral design of the van. So we're going to have 2 crates back here, side by side. They're identical, other than the fact they're symmetrical, but they're flopped. So this one, the door will open that way. Full opening so the dogs can jump in from the back. Now, obviously, or maybe not so obvious, we're going to have panels encapsulated, okay, inside each of these 80/20 verticals. You can see a test piece back there. We just stuck a piece of cardboard in there to see proof of concept. This framing is also an integral part of the bed structure. So this entire rear gets locked together and fixed to the van and the floor, including the bed structure. This is similar to a thing we did in Sheet and Me. So I'm really digging this. We put in some of the 80/20 rubber top and bottom, which acts as a little catch for the door. Obviously, we're going to put some decent latches on here so the dogs can't get out, and solid panels here so the dogs can't see one another, but the rest of it, heavy focus on ventilation. I think I'm going to be putting in some small fans in each of the 4 cages. So you got a full-size door up in the back here. Up front, we're going to have a smaller door so the dogs can get in and out from inside the van. Here, with a latch, we put in another access, and again, solid panels with ventilation here. But this is a big storage area from under the bed all the way down. That's a lot of storage. This one also opens out, and that will allow me to get to my Aqua Hot. Yeah, I've told you about the Aqua Hot 125. It's an Airxcel company. 3 zones of heat and hot water fired off your fuel. So in this case, it's gasoline. In Roxie, it's going to be diesel. So the maintenance hatch for this Aqua Hot's right here. We open up the whole side, and we can maintenance that Aqua Hot, close it up, full access, close that and latch it back up. The dogs don't even know it's back there. So I'm pretty excited because we've really got this design locked down, and it's a matter now of building the second cage. Up front, the cages are stacked right behind the driver's seat. So we've got to build a pull-out tray that the top dog can jump into and then go in the cage and close them in. That's coming next week. You are not going to believe who showed up today. Let me take you outside. I'm on my selfie stick now. Look at this. Wait till you see who's here. Whoa, that sun's bright. Who's that? Anybody? Anybody know who this is? It's Vagabond. That's right. My second build and my first contract build. I needed a contract build to become bona fide, verified, a real player. And that's what Vagabond was. This van, Dave and Irene, came to me after living in their road trek for 6 years, I think, 5 or 6 years. And they came to me and we built this Ram 3500, my second build. Anyway, here she is. She's back for her first Tighten Up. That's right, Dave and Irene left New Jersey, never to return. So this is the first time this van is back for a Tighten Up. So let's go inside and take a look. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Get out. the other way. There you go. Okay. Surprisingly, at least surprisingly for me, it's held up quite well. It really has. This was a walnut build with tung oil. So now you can see the color of this has gotten very orange. Same thing happened in Sam's van. When this walnut ages, it gets very orange. It looks more like cherry, but still beautiful. Really nice. Everything is held up quite well. So now it's the new owners who have come back to the shop. And there's a few things I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a general look over. We're going to give it the tighten up look over. And if there's any safety issues or repairs to be made, I'll do that now. And then we're going to make a list and discuss what type of modifications they want to do to this van. But I got to tell you, those Vagabonds lived in it full time for over 2 years as the avocado shelf. And it's held up very well. I can see that we do things very differently now. In many cases, I would say better. So there's some things that I'm going to have to do to this van that I would consider integrity changes or integrity modifications, because I can do it so much better now. I want this van to be as good. There's that roof rack. That was all done with tube. Now we use that tube. Here's the wind deflector that Dave put on. It's plywood. So we're going to change that out. And it got that big aluminum. I don't know if you can even see it with the sun. Gotta wash this van. Put these little drip edges over the windows. They're all moldy. See it? They're disgusting. Not good. I'm sure they do what they're intended to do, but they're all moldy. And I've already been under the van. And surprisingly, I suppose, for me, there's nothing wrong under there. It has held up very well. And you know where Dave and Irene have taken this van. They've taken this van to places they had no business taking this van. Yeah, they put those big fancy K2 tires on there and they went off into the wild blue yonder. This was a good time building this van. Dave put a flip-up counter here. And they put this step on a step. I wanted to do my 80-20 job here, but we went with this store-bought running board, and it proved to be too narrow. So Dave put this extension on it. So I think the new owners are going to want the 80-20 step. Yeah, we're just gonna bring this up to speed. We're gonna modernize this van. This new owner has a kayak, so we'll be working with a new kayak rack. I've got another van coming in where we need to do the same thing. Same thing, a 3500 ProMaster, full-timer. He's got a beautiful kayak he wants to mount up on the roof and deploy down the side. So we'll be doing that for him as well. Let's see what this garage looks like. If you remember, Dave had 2 bicycles in here and the center drawers. Wow, look at this baby. Yep, I remember it. We gave him the plywood boards that he could hang on. He just put some hangers on that side. So this was a bike tray right there. And then he had a shelf and 2 big drawers, another bike tray. And now the new owners are working it a little differently. I got my shut off. Here's my breaker box back here, the inverter. And the Big Mama Luke is back there. And all my breakers are down low behind that bag. So I do things a little differently now. Down there's my solar controller. That's accessible with a breaker. All right. There's my water tank down here. And I insulated it as well, but there's no need to do that. And you remember all my shutoffs down there for that water tank. That was a work of art. So these drawers back up to Irene's dresser, which is in the center hall at the end of the aisle. So So they're decent. I guess they're about 3 feet deep. There you go. So one thing I notice, all my vinyl work was done with a product called 3M90. And as you can see, 3M90 does not hold up. I'm embarrassed. At the time, that was a good adhesive to use, but it did not hold up under the rigors of van life. Even if you look underneath this cabinet, I put the underside of this, it all let loose. It all let loose. So I will be fixing that. That's on me. Yeah, at the time, that was the best we could do. But now I've got better adhesives. I've got better procedures. So I'm going to go in and make this right. Over here was a cute little doggy drawer for Pistol. Remember that? And this new owner has a puppy. So I imagine that'll remain a doggy drawer. Very nice. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they added a mirror back here, I think. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But I do remember Alex's adjustable drawers that he made here out of walnut. Isn't this crazy? And this is before the CNC, so he did that on a table saw or maybe with a router. But those are pretty cool handmade adjustable drawer slats he's got there. And you can see the difference in the walnut, I think. If you look inside this cabinet, look how brown that walnut is. And then when you come out here, it got so red, so orange. That's what the air and the light does to it. It's pretty cool. So this is a nice deep cabinet. There's been some rumblings that this armoire will be removed. Remove the armoire, cut the shower box in half, and put a countertop on it. And then it's just a half a shower, half a bathroom. The new owner says they don't need this upper part of the shower. So we'll be doing that. Maybe. It might be easier to just sell the van and get another one, or build one to your liking. If you remember this, I love that little trick that Alex did with the magnets, just to make that area inside the bathroom a little bit larger. It's the Road Trek. The Road Trek had that, and Dave wanted it on this van as well. There's this extra flange, this extra piece on the door with magnets top. They go all the way down the line, and it just finds its mate on the other door. And it gives you a nice big open area in there. Not for a shower necessarily, because you still have the shower curtain. And there's Irene's dresser down at the end of the lane. And we gave them a nice little step to get into the bed, a locking step. Perfect, that's between the drawers. Shoe storage down there. Refrigerator's front venting, a NovaCool front venting fridge. I like that at the time. And then we have all these drawers. These drawers were all made to fit what they wanted to put in them. Typically, we would run our drawer seams equal and even all the way across. But you can see this one's here, then this one's down a little lower, and this one's over here, this one's up there. Those are custom made to fit everything they want to put in there. And there's your, very cool. Yeah. Second build, still cutting teeth, if you know what I mean. All nice stuff. The other thing is, I just realized during this build, I went for my prostate surgery. So I was out for about 6 weeks, I think. And Alex was working on this van while I was home trying to recuperate. A lot of things we still do the same, and a lot of things have changed. I do like that center boardwalk up there on top. I like the way it changes the texture of the ceiling. And Irene was pretty bold to go with that secondary color back here in the bedroom. Makes it more like a boudoir, right? Nice sliding doors. I'm a big fan of the sliding doors. I do like those. And in this case, they were necessary because you can see the air conditioner is kind of in the way. If you opened a door that was top hinged, boom, you wouldn't be able to open it very far because it would hit the air conditioner. If you wanted side hinge, you wouldn't be able to open it at all because the air conditioner dips down below that. So sliders are the way to go. I don't know if you can see that schmutzy stuff on the wall, but that little white panel piece, that's mounted with Velcro. And the adhesive on the back of the Velcro melted and dripped down the wall. Gonna make that right. I'm gonna make that right. This is the front office for Roxie. Roxie is the go anywhere, do anything sprinter, 4x4. So you swivel the driver's seat around, and there's going to be this little nice office with cubbies along the refrigerator wall. So this was our prototype to make sure we could prove the concept. So when you're sitting here, this is a raised platform for your feet. And we've got this little cutout so you can stretch out, put your toesies under here. It gives you a little more leg room. And then these will be little storage cubbies. And then, of course, with 80/20, very similar to what we did on the Beast with the pull-out slide for that little bench, that little stool that Yvonne sits on. So that's how we extend this table. This is her desktop table. And then when she's sitting here along that wall, we'll have room for a monitor, computer monitor or a television, some more shelving up on top and down the sides. It's gonna be a nice little office. This is all gonna be walnut. We're gonna do some nice laminate work here as well. But today, John came in here and worked on this slide. He made his aluminum, cleaned it all up, rounded off the edges. We've got a little rubber pad for that to sit on. We can make it adjustable so that we're smooth on top, plumb and level. There you go. And then there is one surprise with this office. This van, Roxie, is getting radiant heat in the floor, as are the other vans. But Roxie also gets passive radiant heat. So what we have is a little heat exchanger under the floor of this raised foot panel. That's right, you see it. This is a little heat exchanger. It's actually an oil cooler for a race car. But I'm gonna send some hot glycol through here and send it back the other side and go heat it up again. So what this is gonna do is it's gonna give you some nice warm tootsies when you're sitting here. Sabrina's gonna be doing most of the work here. So she's gonna pull this out when she sits down, open up her desk, warm tootsies. We're also putting ventilation grills right here, Art Deco ventilation grills, and that heat can come out passively into the front of the cabin. How cool is that? This one we're going above and beyond, let me tell you. I've got another one of these on the back of the galley. Brings it right up along the back of the galley, along the outside wall of the van. Passive, quiet. Oil coolers.